Hi everyone, I'm CS Sana Bakai, and today I'll be covering communication with the previous auditor. As you all know, that for chartered accountants, Code of Ethics applies. Clause 8 of Part 1 of the first schedule to the Chartered Accountant Act 1949, which provides for the communication with the previous auditor. What clause 8 says? It says that a chartered accountant in practice shall be deemed to be guilty of professional misconduct if he accepts a position as auditor previously held by another accountant without first communicating with him in writing. So if any chartered accountant accepts the position as an auditor without first communicating with the previous auditor, then the CA, the incoming auditor, will be held as guilty of misconduct. So is it mandatory to get NOC from the previous auditor? Clause 8 talks about only and only for the communication. NOC की कोई requirement वहाँ पे नहीं है. And this clause provides for the communication with the previous auditor where he has an opportunity to safeguard his own interest and also public interest. Further, there is no provision for the NOC. And it is an inherent right of the client to decide its auditor and change. So there is nothing like that you need to obtain a NOC from the previous auditor. The requirement is only to communicate. So if you go back to the clause 8, it says, so it has three limbs. One is that it accepts a position as an auditor without first communicating with him in writing. So, of course, communication is important. Then it has to be in writing. Communication in writing is mandatory. The requirement for the communication will apply to all the audits, irrespective of the type of audit, be it the statutory audit, tax audit, GST, internal audit, concurrent audit, or any type of audit. And this clause shall equally apply to bank audit and audit of government agencies, wherein, of course, there is a routine rotation. It doesn't matter. Communication is must. What will be the mode of communication? So there could be three different modes. You can give your communication by hand with the acknowledgement in writing. Second is the registered post with the acknowledgement due. Third is delivery by email with a read receipt due. So आप क्या कर सकते हैं? आप जाके लेटर दे सकते हैं और उसके ऊपर एक रिसीविंग ले सकते हैं. सेकेंड इज रजिस्टर्ड एडी से आप भेज सकते हैं बाय पोस्ट, और ईमेल के ऊपर जब आप भेजें तो उस पर रीड रिसीट ऑन कर दीजिए. हो सकता है सामने वाला वो रीड रिसीट डिक्लाइन कर दे. इट इज नॉट नेसेसरी, बट ensure that while you are sending the message, the read receipt is due. Then is it okay if I communicate through a WhatsApp? No, not at all. Communication should not happen through any messaging app or SMS. It is not permissible as an evidence of communication being said. राइटिंग के अंदर है. राइटिंग का मतलब ये नहीं है कि आपने सिर्फ एक व्हाट्सएप पे मैसेज भेज दिया या फिर आपने उसको एक एसएमएस भेज दिया. वो कम्युनिकेशन का मोड ठीक नहीं है. दैट इज नॉट कंसिडर्ड. Then whether a chartered accountant will be deemed to be guilty of the professional misconduct if he accepts his appointment as an auditor immediately after intimating over the phone to the previous auditor? Yes, the member would be held guilty of misconduct for the following reasons. First, that he failed to communicate with the retiring auditor in writing. It is important to communicate with the retiring auditor in writing, and that he did not wait for the reasonable length of time for a reply to be received from him. So what could be the reasonable time? Reasonable time could be, say, from 7 to 15 days maximum. However, if the deadlines are close by, and you have to finish the audit within the given time, and time doesn't permit to wait for longer, you can start the audit, say, within a day or two. Then what is the time limit for communication with the previous auditor? It has to be prior to accepting the audit. आपको communicate कब करना है? जब आपने अपना audit assignment accept किया है, not just before signing the audit report. आपको audit report sign करने से पहले नहीं करना है. आपको कब करना है? जब आपने audit का assignment accept किया है. Sending the communication, of course, as I already mentioned, wait for the reasonable time, say about 15 days or maybe a week, if it is reasonable. See, this clause does not say that for how long you need to wait. It says only for the reasonable time. So if the reply is from the previous auditor is not there, so you can presume that there is no objection. अगर रिप्लाई नहीं आता तो आप उसको एज अ एनओसी लेके चल सकते हैं, कोई प्रॉब्लम नहीं है. टिपिकली राइटिंग में एनओसी आना कोई जरूरी नहीं है. ऑल्दो इट इज इन फेवर ऑफ द आउटगोइंग ऑडिटर, जो ऑडिटर चला गया है ये उसके फेवर में है कि अगर उसको कोई बात अपनी कम्युनिकेट करनी है टू द इनकमिंग ऑडिटर, दे कैन ऑलवेज यूज दिस एज अ टूल एंड कम्युनिकेट व्हाट दे वांट टू से. Thank you so much. If you have any queries related to the communication with the previous auditor, please feel free to reach out to us. Thank you.